What's up, everyone? QC Comics back here with another action figure unboxing / review. And today, finally found Homelander from the boys as well as Starlight. I think it took me about 4 Walmarts, but I finally found one that had them on the shelves. So picked them both up. Very happy to finally have them. Of course, I'm a big fan of the show The Boys. The comic is great. However, I actually like the show more. So when I found out they were doing these based on the show actors and characters, I was really excited. I like this idea more than if we had gotten comic book versions, which I think this was the natural way to go. But we've got the box here. If you can see, it's got kind of a shine to it. Then of course you got the Homelander name, the logo there, the boys up top. On the top of the box there, you just got the boys. And then not much on these boxes. They're just pretty basic. Then on the back there, you do have your information, and then you've got Homelander with a few different poses and different things. And then if you open it up for you inbox collectors, of course on the inside flap there, you've got that beautiful artwork there. Well, I guess I shouldn't say artwork, but more of just kind of a rendered, touched up pose from the figure itself. And then there you have everything in box. And we'll just go ahead and get this guy out of the box here, and we'll start taking a look at some accessories. Okay, so first up, we've just got some interchangeable hands here. He's got kind of open hands in the box and on the ready on the figure. So here we've just got some closed fist hands, so you can do them in punching or kind of, put those hands on the hips and do that dynamic superhero pose. So he's got those. He does have some extra heads. First, we have this one here. This is just kind of his standard, kind of almost a little angry, kind of stoic face. And this one, I think, is actually the best of the bunch. I think this one is better than the one that's currently on the figure. Whereas the other one, I guess, I can't really say if it's better or not, but because, as you can see, it's got the redness around the eyes, and that's because these come in, and you can actually pop these right in. So it looks like he's shooting a blast, those laser beam blasts out of his eyes. So I guess I can't really compare these two head sculpts because this one is clearly made to serve a different purpose. But really cool. I like this a lot. I don't know if I'm going to have this on display with this, but I think when it comes to photography, this is probably what I'm going to use the most. Maybe add in some lighting effects to it to kind of give it more of a kind of glowy effect. But yeah, there's his 2 extra heads. There are the eyes that go, or the lasers that come out of the eyes. And then we have the figure himself. And a lot of people have complained about the sculpt. I think it's fine. I just think that on this kind of standard, this being the go-to, head sculpt, because it's already on the figure. A lot of people don't swap them out. It's just the weakest of the 3. And I think that's okay. You can swap it out. You give your NECA figures a nice warm bath, loosen up those joints and the head, the peg that's in there, you kind of gummy it up, soft it up a little bit, and you can pop that off and swap it. Not a big deal. As for the figure itself, from the waist up, everything looks great. The shoulders here, the armor plates there, those look fantastic. They really do have a nice kind of bronzed metallic look to them. The chest, everything here is great. The sculpt work is fantastic. And you can see just enough kind of ripples in there to give it a nice fabric-y look. Of course, this is all kind of got that kind of ribbed texture to it, which is really nice. The collar looks great. The paint applications top to bottom are fantastic. There's really no getting around that. The cape itself, I don't want to say it feels cheap because I think that's really selling it short. I just think that it doesn't feel as high-end as I would hope it would be. It just feels almost like something you'd find on like a Black Series type figure or like a Marvel Legend. I don't know. With NECA, I just kind of expected maybe something that's maybe a little thicker. It's hard to put into words, but when you touch it, it's really kind of thin. I can picture it fraying quite easily. In fact, on the bottom, you can kind of see some spots where, yeah, like a good almost rip right there. And with any kind of wear or movement, I can see that just starting to fray and getting loose threads quite easily. So I think the cape could be better. It's not horrible. I'm not saying it's bad, but and then the back of the figure, there's not a lot to say. It's that same material. The belt is nice. There's nice paint applications, especially here on the wrists for the gloves. That all is actually, now that I kind of get up close and look, it really almost looks like there's a fabric kind of stitching to it. So that's top notch. It really is nice. I have seen some people kind of complain that his legs kind of look a little stumpy, and I think that's because this comes so low, this cut here. And I've seen this with the Evil Dead Ash figure. It does the same thing. It kind of gives almost kind of like a, it sounds like I'm really hating on it, but it's kind of like a diapery kind of thing, which I think with this one, it's not so bad because it's the same color, and then you've got the belt, and then it's the color into the legs. So I don't think it's as bad as, like, say, the one Ash was, but yeah, I don't know. I've seen somebody actually go in with, I assume, like an X-Acto knife and kind of cut away some of this and kind of improved it. So if you're somebody out there that does modifications, it might be right up your alley. And unfortunately, I was going to have a nice warm water bath here and dip it and then cut the video and come back and kind of show you the articulation, but I think you can kind of gather what the articulation is going to be from it being a NECA figure. It's pretty standard. This doesn't feel as tight as some NECA figures do right out of the box. So it's got some good movement to it. And overall, I'm pretty happy with it. Nice, big, wide feet, as you would hope. He's just going to plop right down and stand. So that's fantastic. Super happy about that. So there we have Homelander from NECA. And this is a figure that I'm hoping is a nice kind of springboard towards the boys figures from NECA. I think they did a really good job with this. There are, like I said, just a few things. The cape, the kind of way that they did the legs heading up towards the hips, I think could be better. But overall, it's a pretty nice figure. And if you see it on the shelves, I would definitely recommend picking it up. It is that standard NECA price of $29.99, I believe, most places. If you were purchasing it on the aftermarket, I got to be honest, I wouldn't go too high over retail. If you really want it, I'd go as high as maybe $40. But I just don't think that this particular figure is necessarily worth going that much over retail. You do have the 2 extra hands, which is pretty standard for NECA. Extra head sculpts, pretty standard. And that's nice. I mean, there's a lot to unpack here for $30. So I don't want to sound like I'm being too harsh on it, but I just think the head sculpts, the hands, the only thing really outside of the ordinary for NECA is, you get the laser blast for the eyes, which is great. However, I think if I were to rate this, I'm not going to go too low. I'm not going to go too high. I think it's a solid 7. I think there's room for improvement, but I think it's going to look nice on a shelf. And one thing I forgot to touch on was actually the boots. The logos here on the front of the boots, they're really raised out. It really looks like a hunk of metal on those boots. It looks sturdy and heavy duty. So I think there's a lot of good quality things about this figure. I just think there's some drawbacks that would keep me from giving it too high of a rating, but it's a solid 7 out of 10, and I think that's pretty good. I know some people have been really low on this figure, and then some people have said, man, it's okay. I think it's better than okay. I think it's just a good figure with some slight drawbacks. But let me know what you think. Did you pick up the figure? Do you agree with me? Do you disagree with me? Do you think maybe your cape was a little better? Maybe I just got a little unlucky. I don't know. He's a scummy character in the show, so if he winds up being the worst figure of the bunch, I suppose it's appropriate. So, anyway, thank you so much for watching. This has been QC Comics. If you like the video, give me a like, share, subscribe, whatever you want to do, and I will see you back here with the review/unboxing of Starlight. Thank you so much. Take care.